The legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has escalated into a full-blown crisis, marking what many are calling the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most admired power couples. What started as a shocking allegation has spiraled into a high-stakes legal showdown, with both sides digging in their heels and refusing to back down. The case, which has captivated the entertainment world, is more explosive than any scripted courtroom drama, and its implications could reverberate far beyond the lives of the two stars involved. For Blake Lively, this lawsuit represents not just a fight for justice, but a battle to protect her reputation, her career, and her marriage to Ryan Reynolds. For Justin Baldoni, it's a fight to clear his name and defend his integrity against what he claims are baseless and damaging accusations. The stakes are astronomical, with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, as well as the careers and legacies of two of Hollywood's most prominent figures. Blake Lively, known for her elegant public persona, her close bond with fans, and her seemingly unshakable marriage to Ryan Reynolds, has long been a darling of the entertainment industry. Her career, spanning hit films, fashion endorsements, and philanthropic efforts, has cemented her as a relatable and beloved figure. Justin Baldoni, on the other hand, has cultivated a reputation as a kind-hearted, forward-thinking creative, recognized for his uplifting media projects and philanthropic endeavors. The idea that these two stars could find themselves locked in such a hostile legal battle was once unthinkable. Yet, here we are, with allegations so inflammatory that they have drawn immediate scrutiny from the media, the public, and the legal system. The bombshell dropped when Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, alleging serious misconduct and demanding a jaw-dropping $250 million in damages. The claims, which have not been fully disclosed top public, were described as so severe thought they could not be honored. The lawsuit sparked an immediate firestorm, consuming tabloids, social media, and entertainment news outlets. For many, it was clear that there was nobody disagreement torment or legalese quabble. This was a scorched minus or attempt be Blake to hold Justin accountable for what shines isted were real and significant offenses. The sheer magnitude of the damage suit, $250 million, sent shockwaves through Hollywood, where reputations are as valuable as blockbuster roles. In modern Hollywood, reputations are currency. A single scandal can derail a career, costing an actor not just their current projects but future opportunities as well. For stars like Blake and Justin, whose careers are built on their public images, the stakes are even higher. A blockbuster role, or the loss of one, can mean tens of millions of dollars gained or forfeited. When you factor in endorsements, production company revenues, and potential residuals, the financial impact of a damaged reputation can balloon quickly. In this case, the allegations and counter-allegations have the potential to destroy not just careers, but entire empires. Initially, it appeared that Blake had the upper hand. She was the first to go on record with her allegations, and her supporters, passionate and vocal, were convinced that a woman of her standing wouldn't risk the potential fallout unless she had unshakable evidence. Justin, by contrast, seemed blindsided. He scrambled to manage the press and deal with outlets that were quick to amplify Blake's point of view. The narrative, at least in the early days, seemed to favor Blake, with many assuming that her claims would be substantiated in court. However, the tide began to turn when Justin filed a countersuit, flipping the narrative on its head. Suddenly, fans were torn between sympathy for Blake and the possibility that Justin might be the victim of an unjust smear campaign. The countersuit, which sought $400 million in damages, accused Blake of defamation and extortion, claiming that her allegations were not only false, but deliberately designed to destroy his career and reputation. The legal battle quickly became a he-said-she-said saga, with both sides presenting compelling arguments and neither showing any intention of backing down. The first major legal showdown came during a tense 90-minute hearing that shook Tinseltown. The stakes were sky-high, and the atmosphere was electric. Blake Lively arrived at the courthouse looking visibly tense, shielded by her legal team. Justin Baldoni, accompanied by his formidable lawyer Brian Friedman, exuded quiet confidence. Onlookers described the scene as stepping into a pressure cooker, where any slight comment could ignite an explosion. The hearing was a critical moment in the case, serving as the first real battleground in a war that could stretch on for years. Blake's legal team attempted to gain the upper hand by applying for a gag order, claiming that Friedman's public comments and media appearances were tainting the potential jury pool and making it impossible for their side to get a fair shot. However, the judge quickly denied the request, citing the fact that Blake's own team had been extremely vocal in media interviews. This was the first red flag for Blake's defense. If they couldn't silence Justin's camp, they would have to face public scrutiny head-on, a challenge they were not prepared for. With the gag order off the table, Friedman wasted no time pressing his advantage. He presented an outline of evidence that included text messages, recorded calls, and receipts, pointing to alleged manipulations in Blake's original suit. While no smoking gun was publicly aired during the preliminary hearing, onlookers hinted that Friedman's revelations were enough to rattle Blake's entire team. The judge dismantled the efforts made by Blake's side to stifle Justin's allegations or remove Friedman from direct questioning. The final nail in the coffin came when the judge ruled that Blake would have to face Friedman himself during her deposition, a prospect that her attorneys had described as aggressive and unpredictable. By the time the hearing adjourned, it was clear that Blake had lost this round. It wasn't just a small procedural snag, it was a devastating blow to her entire legal strategy. The courtroom might have emptied, but the real storm was only just beginning. Within minutes of the hearing's end, social media exploded. Hashtags like #TeamBlake and #TeamJustin battled for trending status, with fans on both sides dissecting every shred of news. Yet, a noticeable shift was taking place. Many users who had once firmly supported Blake began expressing doubts. For the first time, cracks were showing in her pristine facade. Blake Lively has long enjoyed near-impenetrable goodwill, from her breakthrough performances to her carefully curated image as a relatable celebrity. She has rarely faced widespread skepticism. But now, in the wake of this legal defeat, people began to ask, if she's so sure of her claims, why is she working so hard to avoid direct questioning under oath? Bloggers, YouTubers, and entertainment columnists seized on this point, hypothesizing that Blake might be hiding something or fearing that her case would unravel under intense cross-examination. Rumors ran wild. Did she lack the evidence she initially claimed to have? Was she coerced into filing the suit by some undisclosed party? Or were personal grudges fueling her accusations? Conversely, Justin Baldoni began to look like the underdog who refused to be bullied by sensational headlines. Many fans rallied around his measured, consistent approach, especially after hearing the judge repeatedly rule in his favor. While Justin has historically been more private, the public website he launched, displaying selected evidence, garnered massive traffic and triggered discussions about what might be revealed next. He was also quick to remind people that if Blake could contact major publications and speak freely, he deserved the same freedom to share his side. This argument resonated deeply in an era where fair representation in the media matters more than ever. Individuals started seeing him as the party upholding transparency, while Blake's tactics began to appear increasingly defensive. The fallout from this legal battle extends far beyond Blake and Justin. Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband and one half of Hollywood's most admired power couples, finds himself in a precarious position. The two are famously considered a united front, their combined star power and net worth rivaling some of the biggest names in showbiz. Yet, under this new wave of courtroom losses, Ryan risks being dragged into the fray. If Justin ultimately wins, Blake and Ryan could face a $400 million judgment, a sum that could eclipse their combined fortunes, effectively draining everything they've built. Industry whispers say Ryan is frantic behind the scenes, allegedly urging Blake to seek a settlement or at least scale back the ferocity of the legal war. But so far, no sign indicates that Blake intends to back down. Beyond money, Ryan's squeaky clean public persona also hangs in the balance. Known for his comedic flair, philanthropic ventures, and brand endorsements, he risks being tainted by association if the scandal continues to grow. Already, rumors suggest that certain brand partners might be reconsidering deals with the couple if the negative headlines persist. The stress of these lawsuits is undoubtedly placing a huge strain on their marriage, with speculation soaring that the couple's once unshakable bond is being tested like never before. As Blake scrambles to protect her image, Justin is boldly going on the offensive. The website he launched promises a full account of events, complete with legal documents, chronological breakdowns, and even rumored screenshots of messages. According to his lawyer, every release of new materials is designed to counter misinformation and illustrate how his countersuit is grounded in fact. So far, Blake's legal team has tried to paint Justin's tactics as manipulative, arguing that they are a ploy to pollute potential jury pools. But ironically, they were the first to break the story to the press. Their outcry may come across to some observers as hypocritical, further solidifying Justin's position that he's simply leveling the playing field. With the possibility of a settlement looking slim, the next big milestone is depositions under oath. A trial of this magnitude could rival the biggest Hollywood court spectacles of the last decade. Some insiders even suggest that streaming networks might vie for the rights to create a docuseries about the case, given its potential for drama and star-studded intrigue. Paparazzi will line up before dawn, and bloggers and mainstream media alike will dissect every witness's body language. With tension soaring, one might expect that cooler heads would push for an out-of-court settlement. After all, neither star benefits from letting their dirty laundry air for months, possibly years on end. But so far, pride, principle, or both seem to be blocking any attempt at reconciliation. Nonetheless, some whisper that behind closed doors, lawyers for both sides have tried to float the idea of a settlement, especially on Ryan Reynolds' end. But these efforts seem overshadowed by the personal animosity that has grown to enormous proportions. At this juncture, the question on everyone's mind is, can Blake Lively bounce back? While her name still carries weight, the narrative is running away from her, driven by a wave of negative headlines and a swiftly eroding foundation. With the public now acutely aware of the lawsuit's twists, her every word will be scrutinized for hidden meaning or contradiction. On the flip side, Justin Baldoni is no stranger to using mainstream platforms to discuss serious issues. As he continues collecting evidence and winning these preliminary legal skirmishes, his strategy is clear. Remain transparent, appear cooperative, and emphasize the moral high ground. Friends close to Blake hint that she's feeling the pressure more than ever. Between juggling motherhood, public appearances, and the unrelenting pace of legal chaos, she's described as exhausted and cornered. Yet, her stubborn streak might be exactly what keeps her fighting. This standoff between unwavering conviction and mounting legal defeats is creating a meltdown that not only endangers Blake's finances, but threatens to overshadow her legacy in Hollywood. Losing a case of this scale wouldn't just result in a massive financial payout. It would be a PR tsunami that could wipe out her marketability for years. For an actor, being labeled as someone who attempted to manipulate or falsify serious allegations can be career-ending. Rarely do watchers talk about the personal torment. For Blake, accustomed to adoring fans and positive press, this might be shattering her sense of self. Public humiliation has driven some stars to retreat from the spotlight permanently. If the situation worsens, we can't rule out an extended hiatus or a complete rebranding of her identity. With March 2026 looming, both sides are bracing for the next phase. Legal bills continue to pile up at staggering rates, and the public, though endlessly fascinated, grows weary of half-truths and rumor-based updates. People crave definitive answers. Scandals that drag on too long often risk turning off even the most eager audiences. In an era where new controversies flood the internet daily, both sides risk losing the upper hand if they can't keep the public engaged. That said, the monumental sums involved practically guarantee unwavering interest from mainstream media. If a settlement were to happen tomorrow, it might involve undisclosed sums of money, strict non-disclosure agreements, and potential public apologies. But both parties have shown themselves willing to brawl in public. For fans hoping for a swift resolution, each passing day makes it clearer that neither side is backing off lightly. Until a settlement is officially announced, the looming trial date stands like an ominous countdown to what could be the biggest Hollywood courtroom spectacle in decades. What we do know is this: no matter which path Blake chooses, the immediate fallout from this courtroom defeat looks dire. The once untouchable actress stands on precarious ground as Justin Baldoni's relentless approach and the judge's rulings keep swinging momentum to his side. If the pattern continues, Blake may have to make the toughest decision of her life: keep fighting and risk further humiliation, or fold now and salvage what she can. This showdown isn't just about money. It's about trust, influence, and personal integrity. With each gavel strike and every new piece of exclusive evidence, the stakes shoot higher. In an industry that worships success stories while eagerly devouring downfall sagas, the pressure is truly on. Will Blake Lively find a way to flip the script and prove her allegations are legitimate? Or is Justin Baldoni on track to claim a public and possibly career-defining victory, sending Blake into a tailspin that no star status can protect against? As the story continues to unfold, there's always more to discover. Thanks for tapping in. Now, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when more secrets come to light.